Denying a clear contradiction. As we have already seen, White informs us, why is one man raised to eternal life, and another left to eternal destruction? It is according to the kind intention of his will. So it is God's kindness that causes him to damn so many. We are offended for our loving God. The Calvinist, however, denies any contradiction in the idea that the God of infinite love is pleased to predestine billions to eternal torment. Calvin even castigates those who recognize this lie. He praises Augustine for throwing out of the church any who suggest that God couldn't really love those he has predestined to eternal torment. Were anyone to address the people thus, "If you do not believe, the reason is because God has already doomed you to destruction," he would not only encourage sloth, but also give countenance to wickedness. Were anyone to say that those who hear will not believe because they are reprobates, that is, damned by God's foreordination, it were imprecation rather than doctrine. Wherefore Augustine not undeservedly orders such as senseless teachers or sinister and ill-omened prophets to retire from the church. Calvin is trying to escape the consequences of his own dogmas, but he can't. He repeatedly insists throughout his Institutes that God saves whom he wills of his mere good pleasure, and that some are predestined unto salvation and others to destruction. Calvin says that the latter, whom it was God's good pleasure to doom to destruction, are excluded from access to life. How those whom the omnipotent God has excluded from access to life could be responsible for their own doom and could be the beneficiaries of his infinite love is incomprehensible. It is as if God has thrown into the ocean billions of people whom he had so created that they cannot swim a stroke. He mercifully rescues some of them and leaves the rest to drown in eternal death. How could anyone say to those whom God created to drown, "It is your own fault"? How can Calvin, and Calvinists today, say it is wickedness and imprecation to say that the non-elect cannot believe the gospel because God has excluded them from faith, when in fact that is exactly what Calvinism teaches? It is outrageous to suggest that those whom God foreordains to eternal doom are not only to blame for their fate, but are the objects of his love, mercy, and grace. What love is this?